Right, good morning, everyone. So let me update this. Will be the 4th of February today. Okay, welcome back to today's episode on the trading dose. Hope you guys have been doing so far so good in the market, right? We'll give it maybe about another 1 to 2 minutes. We'll start closer to 10. Okay, just coming in earlier so that I think that's what Facebook algorithm I've studied does. Is that when the live runs for like maybe about 3-4 minutes, that's where most of the followers will be able to receive that notification and join us, right? So that's the reason why I started like that 2 to 3 minutes earlier. Hey, but anyway, hope you guys are having a good week so far. I think the major pairs has been pretty slow moving, okay, since what we did yesterday until today. Not much of a move, right? But at the same time, the stock market has been pretty good. Okay, so but nonetheless, we'll stay focused. Okay, what we do over here, again, for those of you who are very new, okay, I'll just take a 1 or 2 minutes to quickly introduce to you what we do. So what actually inspired me to kickstart this entire kind of campaign for the trading dose was last year. There's a lot of traders actually asking me, if it's a small account, can they start trading? What is the proper approach towards trading a small account, right? So last year, August, what we did was I started a very small account, like $500, to just showcase that even with a small account, you should actually put in the proper technique, the proper way and approach towards trading. And that account actually grew, okay? And the idea here is you want to be consistent. And that's where this year, okay, we thought, okay, why not bring it to the next level, right? Because last year, August, what I did was just update all the subscribers and the followers. What is the weekly performance, and that's it, right? Just to kind of inspire and give you that motivation. And then this year, I decided to why not then start something where I show you the entire process. Okay, and that's how the trading dose got started. Okay, and I think this is probably like the ninth episode, which means that we have been doing this for 3 weeks, right? So so far, I hope you guys have been enjoying it. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so today is the 4th of February. Okay, very quick one here to keep you updated on what's happening from yesterday's session, right? Some of the trades that we had. Okay, so far of all the trades that we had, right, only one of it is running, okay, which is the dollar yen. Okay, I'll keep you guys updated on some of the adjustment as well. Okay, so on the higher time frame 1 hour, I do still see that possibility of a potential kind of correction or a short-term reversal to the downside. Okay, so this trade here is running by like I think down by 15 pips. That's perfectly fine. Okay, yesterday we had our stop at the 786, right? I've decided to push it up a little bit. I think that's like additional of 4 pips. Okay, the reason for doing that, okay, let me share with you. Okay, yesterday the stop I think was somewhere around here. Okay, so I decided to shift it up a little bit to add that about 4 pips. Okay, the reason is very simple because right now I'm seeing that there's also a potential setup that I want to keep an eye on today. Okay, and this is what we call a godly pattern. Okay, and I'm still interested to sell until proven otherwise. Okay, so for today, okay, will be for me, I'll be adding on one more position, okay, to sell it, okay, around the 786. That's where the godly pattern completes, and then of course naturally the stop will be above that high, right? Okay, so that's the reason why I just decided to add that few extra pips or stops for our current running position. Okay, I think depending on when you watch it, okay, for me, immediately yesterday I straight away say that okay, the price is breaking out. Let's put a panic order here, right? Okay, so that's where we enter. Okay, in terms of target for yesterday trade, I'll just put it as it is. Okay, no changes. But the opportunity for today, okay, so let me take away the trade yesterday first. Okay, for opportunity for today, we're looking to sell at 786. Of course, the stop is at the high here. For the target, we're just gonna put it at the L4. Okay, I think that is pretty tight, right? It's really like 5 pips of stops. Okay, usually I don't really want to run that. And usually what we do is we extend it to 113. Okay, So yeah, so that's like also 10 pips. It's very, very tight. Okay, just wanted to have you guys aware of it. But the good thing here is, of course, if you are trading short-term intraday, likely what you'll be doing is you're having the strategy of fixed lot size. Okay, so which is actually a technique called fixed fractional, right? So the idea here is then if your stop is very tight, the good side is that, of course, your risk is smaller. Okay, but the negative or the not so good side, the disadvantage here is that you can easily get stop out. Okay, but this is how I'm gonna put in for today's trade. Okay, so I'm gonna add this in. I think yesterday one more or less still intact, right? So I'll keep all this here. Okay, I'll keep them updated as we progress. Okay, because there's some minor adjustment that we'll probably need to do. Okay, so over here, this dollar yen will update this. Okay, today is gonna be a sell limit. Okay, and the entry is at 105.11. Okay, the stop is 105.2. Okay, so you can see that's like really, really small, 10 pips. Target here is 104.93. Right, so even the take profit here is pretty tight, right? It's like less than 20 pips, okay? But that's the intraday perspective. We can consider, of course, bringing this down to the L5. That would give us, yeah, maybe that would be better, right? 104.85. Okay, just the extra few bits of pips, right? Not much of a big diff. Let me save this. Right, and add that in. So this is today's new pending order. Okay, so this is for the new order for today. Okay, let's walk through some of the pending orders that we have. Oh, I haven't put that in. Let me put this in. Okay, so order here is yeah, I think that's good. 105.2. Target here is 104.85. Just put it at 84. Yeah, that's about there, more or less. Okay, good. Okay, now let's walk through some of the orders that we had yesterday. Okay, these are all still pending orders. So first up here is the euro dollar. Okay, so euro dollar here you can see, right? I did mention that price is basically just not moving, right? Since yesterday and today, it's very, very tight range. Okay, that's like 40 range, 40 pips of range. Okay, is literally not moving. So everything is intact. The only thing that I've updated is the target. Okay, I've actually put it up to the L5, which is where the price is about 1990. Okay, so if you were reference to this, the target here, we increase it, pull it up, right, to about 1990. Okay, but everything is still intact. So the entry price, the stop loss are still the same. Okay, so for those of you who are looking at this, you might want to readjust it a little bit. Okay, in terms of Aussie dollar, nothing has changed. Everything is still intact. Okay, I think the target here, I might update it a little bit. Okay, just that tiny bit to bring it down, okay, to this camarilla level. Okay, just to extend it a little bit. The price here is 7632. Yeah, okay, that's like 3 pips, right? But you realize that, you know, again, when the market is not moving, the scale on your chart is just like it looks a lot, but actually it's just a little bit. Okay, because the price is not moving, and then how the chart actually kind of like draw out all these candlesticks is all in proportion. Okay, so if the market is really not moving, is consolidating, and then you go into a lower time frame chart, you do realize that while it looks huge, okay, the actual movement is just very small. Okay. Kiwi dollar, nothing has changed. The target here probably has updated a little bit, so to 7196. I think that's about there. Okay, so a quick update on that. The entry and the stops never really changed. Okay, I'm just a little bit conservative in the target to pull it according to the daily camarilla. Okay, same thing for dollar CAD. Nothing has changed for the entry and stops. The target here we put it at 2802. Okay, so again that minor adjustment, right? Really nothing much. Yeah, so that's really again, okay, that's the idea about intraday, right? Sometimes you get trade, sometimes you don't get trade. You know, and the market is basically not moving since yesterday after we talk about it. So all these pending orders, they are still valid. We're gonna have them there at right now. Okay, so I think the only pair that we do not have a trade right now or a pending position right now is the pound dollar. Okay, and I do have a potential setup over here, right? Let me walk you through that process. Okay. Since today we only have this pair to talk about, I'll spend a bit more time on this, okay? Because the rest of it is basically no changes from last session, which is yesterday, okay? So if you like to do a very quick recap about all these trades, just go and watch yesterday review. The recording is up, okay? And then from there, you have a better understanding why we took those trades, okay? So pound dollar over here, okay, you can see that this is really consolidating. Okay, even the RSI is really coiling, right? And of course, you do see the divergence happening as well, which means there's a very high possibility we might see price drop to the lower side. And therefore, my bias here is more towards selling. Okay, I'm not so keen in looking for buy. I'm more keen in looking for sell opportunity. And that's where when I go down to the intraday perspective, I'll be scouting for, is there a short setup that fits into my strategy that I can look to capitalize on? Okay, so on this perspective here, I think there are two potential setup. Okay, the first one, you can see what I did was I tried to measure this extension here, right? So it comes to 141, which is a valid cipher pattern. Okay, so I'm doing this a bit quicker. Okay, I've been trading harmonic pattern for some time, right? So it's quite kind of like quick, okay, in a way. So this is a cipher pattern. It looks like that. Okay, and that's where we're looking to sell, right? If price were to come up towards this area, which is about 80 pips of range, around 3725, that's where we'll be looking to sell the cipher pattern. There is another pattern, of course. Let me clear that, right? Just want to quickly show you there's a potential cipher. Okay, there's also another pattern forming here. It's more like a godly pattern. Okay, maybe on a 15-minute will be much nicer. Okay, that's how it looks like. Okay, it's not like the most ideal godly, okay, but in terms of ratio wise, it's still a pretty valid one because this one here does extend a little bit. Okay, so it's not that ideal in terms of the visual appearance of this pattern. Okay, but it's still a valid one. Okay, and of course, some technique here you can utilize is also the 127. Okay, which brings the entry up even higher. Okay, something like this. That's where some traders actually trade the godly using this technique, right? And this here perhaps is a much better area to focus because you do see that that's where the H5 camarilla level is. Okay, that is about 60 pips from where the current price is. Okay. So there are two setups forming right now. One is way at the top, somewhere around here. That's where the bigger cipher pattern is. Okay, which for it to move about 80 plus pips today, I don't think we're gonna see that. Okay, so for me, if I'm interested in the cipher, I'm not gonna put in the order today, perhaps tomorrow. Okay, we'll see how price develop. Okay, but for today, if I'm really keen into executing this trade, okay, or I would say be involved in the pound dollar short, then I believe this is the pattern that I'll be looking to trade. Okay, more of like a godly pattern. Okay, and then there's some confluence, of course, with the H5 camarilla, right? And the stop here, I'll be utilizing the 113 because if I were to put it here, I think that's a little bit too tight, right? That's like 10 pips. Okay, less than 10 pips on pound dollar, I think, you know, with that spread, with that slight volatility, pop, that trade is gonna just be out before you even know it. Okay, so I'm gonna include the I'm gonna utilize the 113, and that gave me a 20 pips of stops. Okay, more or less better, more decent in that way, right? Giving some room for price to wiggle around. Okay, so for me, if I were to take this, the target here, I'll be utilizing either like the, let me remove some of these levels here, either using the L3 or the L4. Okay, because I think I'll just use the L3, right? So why the aggression in the take profit and not like here or here? The reason is because the higher time frame, I'm more inclined to look for sell, right? So I'm riding on not just the pattern itself, but also the potential that when the reversal comes, the momentum to the downside should be strong enough for me, right? Yeah, so let me bring this to like the 15-minute chart to take the screenshot. Okay, I'll be putting all this order in. Okay, so let me add that in. Okay, so literally we have like all pairs, we do have a potential setup. And we do have a potential order here, which means that you need to really factor in your risk exposure, right? Entry is at 3702, 3722, or 3723. Okay, that's your stops. Target here is 3625. Right. Maybe I'll shrink it a bit more so you can see that. All right, so let me put this order in as well, right? This is gonna go 3702. Stops is at 3723. Target here is 3625. Right. Yep, good. That's it. Right. So this is the last order, right? So today again, yeah. So we do have like a lot of pending orders that has the potential to run and trade. Okay. So gold here again, nothing, right? Just stay away from gold as of now. Really, nothing much. Okay. So yeah, just going back to the PowerPoint slides, quickly update over here. So far, no trade for the week. Okay, it's definitely a slower week in the major pairs, but at the same time, we do have a lot of potential pending orders that is running. Okay, so all of this here was done yesterday. Is still valid. Okay, we added the pound dollar today, and of course, a new potential setup on the dollar yen. Okay, so you realize that there are a lot of trades that once perhaps when the market starts moving, you might get involved in a lot of them. Okay, and of course this trade here can be also losing, and what's the worst case scenario is you're going to lose all of the trades. Okay, so always have that in mind. Manage your risk accordingly. Your risk exposure and all these things are very, very important. Okay, so today's session is rather short. Okay, or I would say shorter, not that short also. Okay, but yeah, so that's the idea, right? If you come into the market for the day, really nothing is moving, that it is what it is. Okay, and we are not trying to squeeze out anything and things like that. Okay, so that's all for me today. You know, really hope you can see beyond just like the trades that I take, but you also can see the processes that we use over here. Okay, and hopefully that will give you some idea, some insights into what we do, what is trading about, and hopefully we'll be able to help your trading journey along the way. All right, so that's all for me today. Hope you guys are enjoying and benefiting. Okay, have a great weekend ahead. And tomorrow we are not doing this. Okay, so every week we are only running it on Tuesday to Thursday. Okay, so tomorrow perhaps you might want to still keep an eye on the market, right? But tomorrow we won't be coming on live online. So we'll see you guys next week on Tuesday. Okay, and have a great weekend ahead, right? So see you guys. Bye-bye.